兄弟姊妹平安，今日是7月初4，7月頭一個主日，時間過也緊，2021年半年已經結束了。求主幫助咱，好跳縮咱的時間。我相信在過去半年實在無容易，但係上帝恩典實在教育軍的需要，經過了半年的時間。咱求主幫助咱繼續用信心來去面對頭前的路，咱存着敬畏上帝的心來面對下半年的時間。咱大家來到主嘅頭前，好來祈禱，陪伴咱的心來侍奉敬拜咱的上帝。咱下頭做一個祈禱。特別時間無佇阮的手嘅中間，2021年半年已經結束，為到下半年的時間交到主你的內面。雖然阮唔知影這個疫情有結束還是有停止。但是阮知影凡事攏佇你家己掌管的中間，有疫情還是無疫情，攏佇你家己的時間的中間，互阮憑真心來經驗到你家己的祝福及你的同在。我就要將今仔日早起的崇拜交到主你的手中，接着阮所獻上的祈禱，接着阮所敬拜的詩歌，阮所傳的信息，完全來接着你家己的靈及阮講話，互阮經驗到你家己的祝福及你的同在。今日開始，阮要思想一個新系列的信息，講到苦難之味，互阮佇這個困難的中間，更加明白苦難，知影怎樣去面對這個苦難。願主佇阮的這段的時間中間，藉着阮的生命獻出你家己的榮耀，願人攏尊你的名做聖，願人看到主佇阮的基督徒的生命中間獻出真奇妙的改變。獻出阮的感謝及阮的祈禱，奉告主耶穌基督的聖名，阿門。你這邊咱大家嚟用詩歌嚟敬拜咱的上帝。
just to live it, Lord. And when doing well. Help me to never seek a crown, for my reward is giving glory to you. For my reward is giving glory to you. For my reward is giving glory to you.
The greatest love that anyone could ever know, that overcame the cross and grave to find my soul. Until I see you face to face, and grace amazing takes me home, I'll trust in you. With all I am, I live to see your kingdom come. And in my heart I pray you'd let your will be done. Until I see you face to face, and grace amazing takes me home, I'll trust in you. I will live to love you. I will live to bring you praise. I will live a child in awe of you. You are the voice that calls the universe to be. You are the whisper in my heart that speaks to me. Until I see you face to face, and grace amazing takes me home, I'll trust in you. I will live to love you. I will live to bring you praise. I will live a child in awe of you. I will live to love you. I will live to bring you praise. I will live a child in awe of you. You alone are God of all. You alone are worthy alone. And with all I am, my soul will bless your name. You alone are God of all. You alone are worthy alone. And with all I am, my soul will bless your name. The greatest love that anyone could ever know, that overcame the cross and grave to find my soul. Until I see you face to face, and grace amazing takes me home, I'll trust in you. I will live to love you. I will live to bring you praise. I will live a child in you.
Hãy giúp bình an, nên sẽ có đề niệm bị bản thân để xem này sự Chúa ở bia gặp Chúa ở bùi. Chia đàn sinh kinh quỷ. Thì có làm tô chén su để cho biết chiều đẹp xa câu đẹp bút chất. Sinh kinh công, ngõ tầng đi thọ nô đi nè, quan chỉ đối Chúa do niệm sự. Cho Chúa nhà so bình huy chết âm thuộc khí bia lại. Chúc sẽ đeo cho biết khuy công, chế chỉ quan hệ sinh khu vì lý băng sát. Để được anh ấy kẻ vì đức sĩ ghi làm quả. Bằng ngầu giá sáng khoan thuộc khí bùi lại công, chế cái bùi是人過血所立嘅善約，你特別念嘅信對安尼行，為的是紀念我。你特別食這個餅，念這個杯，是表明主嘅死佇登高以來。所以無論什麼人，若無按你食主嘅餅，念主嘅杯，就是干犯主嘅心及主嘅血咯。所以人應該家己省察，然後食這個餅，念這個杯。這段聖經是保羅寫給教會，教導咱照能領受主嘅餅及主嘅杯。主要說並非一暗將這個聖餐嚟設立，而將這個餅掰開，將個葡萄汁倒出。主要所講，這個餅是代表我嘅身軀，這個葡萄汁是代表我嘅血。這個餅掰開，這個葡萄汁倒出，是代表主要所設立嘅為咱嘅罪，將身軀掰開，將寶血流出嚟洗淨咱嘅罪。但係聖經及咱講，人應當家己省察，然後食這個餅，念這個杯。所以你做省察嘅人，需要家己好嚟祈禱，好嚟省察家己，備辦這個心嚟領受主咱嘅餅及主嘅杯。咱實及安靜地座位裏面好嚟祈禱，叫上帝嘅靈嚟省察咱，備辦咱嘅心嚟領受主今日啲好咱嘅餅及主嘅杯。咱大家嚟唱一個聖詩，備辦咱嘅心嚟領受主嘅餅及主嘅杯。咱唱咱嘅聖餐嘅歌，省察家己。咱大家嚟唱。
當我們走到神的面前，默默審查自己，回想以往的年日裡，蒙了多少恩典。主啊，我歸見了你，我真歸見了你。求主赦免我罪過，憐憫我們。有多少時間奉獻給你，專為自己而求，在多少事上虧欠了主，讓神靈擔憂。主啊，我虧欠了你，我真虧欠了你。求主赦免我罪過，憐憫我們。
中，愿将一生献给主，全给主使用。主啊，我感谢你，我要感谢你，因为你已赦免我们，拯救我们。
咱大家来领受主的饼及主的杯。I take the bread and the cup together. 咱三甲做一个感恩的祈祷。天父，阮感谢你，你听咱，将你独生子主耶稣赐予咱，为阮的罪钉伫十字架内面，将你的身躯擘开，主将宝血流出，来洗净阮的罪，医治阮一切的亏欠，互阮查做上帝你的儿女。今仔日有通领受你的饼入你的杯，互你的生命提起咱已经伫咱的内面。保罗讲，现在活着不再是我，乃是基督伫我内面活着。互阮因为主的生命的原因，互阮一生为主来活。天父，阮感谢你，祝我今仔日伫你的头前领受饼甲杯的姊妹，愿阮每一个人，阮的身躯、阮的灵、阮的魂，拢都蒙主你家己的保守，完全无通止跌，直到主耶稣第二摆对天顶国来。愿上帝祝福你，赐恩予你，祈祷奉告主耶稣基督的圣名。阿门。愿上帝祝福你，兄弟姊妹。阿门。菲律宾圣经基督教会教牧团要举行一摆调查的报告，目的是要了解教会的会友伫教会价值顶面的成长及需要。
The pastoral team of the Christian Bible Church of the Philippines is conducting a survey to understand the growth state and the needs of the church's core values.
这摆的调查伫时间的顶面无限制，哪紧哪好，咱需要14岁以上到65岁的兄弟姊妹来参加，帮助咱回答所有伫调查表顶面的问题。
And this survey will only run for a limited time, but it is opened up from people who are ages from 13 and above. The link can be accessed on the screen.
你的答案要帮助咱更加真实的牧养上帝的教会，也帮助教会找出一间实实在在门道训练的教会。咱邀请你及你厝内人，及你3位兄弟姊妹大家来参加，多谢。
And your answers will help shepherd the church as we journey on together towards authentic discipleship. Please share it with all your friends and family to answer the link.
兄弟姊妹平安。
Peace, brothers and sisters.
今日咱开始一个新的系列的信息，
Today we'll begin a new message series.
伊的题目是苦难之谜。
The title is The Mystery of Suffering.
今日是头一个信息，
Today is the first message.
题目是祸从天降怎么办？
The title is Calamity That Comes from Heaven. What shall we do?
经文是约伯记第1到第2章。
The passage can be found in the first 2 chapters of Job.
这个祸从天降什么意思呢？
What does calamity that comes from heaven mean?
就是这个灾难来啊，真早忽然间嚟到咱的身上，咱完全无备办。
It means this calamity came unexpectedly and we're all surprised.
伫过去1年半内面，
In the past year and a half,
全世界实在是祸从天降，
the whole world has indeed experienced this calamity that came from heaven.
伫咱完全无备办的中间，灾难就来咯。
In the midst, when we were all unprepared, the calamity came.
伫过去1年半的中间，
In the past year and a half,
我相信真侪家庭也是真侪患难，忽然間臨到咱的家庭嘅內面，
I believe many families have experienced this calamity.
甚至已經有人離開了這個世界。
And many people has passed away.
咱就面對一款禍從天降嘅災難呢？
How then should we face this calamity that comes from heaven?
對今日開始，我要用7段嘅時間，同你思想約伯記。
From today onwards, I would like to share 7 messages with you.
咱嘅題目是可難之謎。
And the title of this series will be The Mystery of Suffering.
我大想將這7等嘅題目俾你知啊。
Let me tell you this title for these 7 messages.
頭一個 message
The first message,
就是禍從天降怎麼辦？
Calamity that comes from heaven, what shall we do?
約伯記第1到第2章。
From Job chapter 1 to 2.
第2等呢，
Second message,
嗰陣晚思想可難嘅原因。
rethinking the cause of suffering.
第4到第5章、19章及22章。
From chapters 4 to 5, 15 and 22.
第3等嗰陣晚思想上帝嘅公義。
The third message, rethinking God's justice.
第8章、18章、19章。
In Job chapter 8, 18 and 25.
第4等嗰陣晚思想危機嘅協談。
And the fourth message, rethinking crisis counseling.
第10章及20章。
Job chapter 10 and 20.
第5等
The fifth message,
嗰陣晚思想上帝良善。
rethinking God's goodness.
第32章到37章。
Chapter 32 to 37.
第6等
The sixth message,
嗰陣晚思想上帝全能。
rethinking God's omnipotence.
第38章到41章。
From 38 to 41.
落尾一等
The last message,
跟住作出重生。
restoration from hopelessness.
落尾一章42
The
章。
last chapter, chapter 42.
你知唔知我問你都佢出來好讀一關嘅經文，
Brothers and sisters, please read the scriptures very carefully.
即係幫助你更加了解我要講嘅信息。
It will help you greatly in understanding these messages.
今日你嚟想頭一個 message，
Today we will discuss the first message.
即係災難對天頂降臨，咁怎麼辦？
The calamity that comes from heaven, what shall we do?
約伯記是講義人受苦嘅故事，
The book of Job talks about the suffering of righteous people.
所以唔係是禍從天降，
So we're not just talking about calamity that comes
是
from
這個
heaven,
禍從天降的義人嘅成就。
but calamity that attacks these righteous people.
咱都是因信稱義嘅人，
We're all made righteous by faith.
當災難臨到咱嘅成就嘅時陣，
But when calamity is upon us,
咱就要去面對呢。
how shall we face it?
頭先，
The first,
咱嚟想想約伯記第1章頭過節嘅聖經，
from chapters 1, verses 1 to 5, we'll be introducing the righteous Job.
即係介紹約伯這個人嘅大志。
It talks about what type of person Job is.
這個節嘅聖經
In this first 5 verses,
講3大志，
it says 3 things.
講到約伯這個人、約伯這個家庭及約伯嘅敬虔。
Job as a man, Job's family, and Job's piety.
咱嚟講頭先，
Let's look at the first
你
one.
講約伯這個人，
Job as a man,
第1章第1節，
verse 1.
你講有時對有一個人叫做約伯，這個人完全正直，敬畏上帝，遠離惡事。
In the land of Uz, there lived a man whose name was Job. This man was blameless and upright. He feared God and shunned evil.
這是約伯記嘅作者對約伯嘅介紹。
This is the author's introduction of Job.
啊，就你講是規本聖經中約伯嘅評論。
We could also say this is the Bible's commentary on Job.
約伯是個什麼款嘅人？
What kind of man was Job?
你嗱照希伯來文嚟看，
According to the Hebrew text,
講到4項大志，
it says 4 things.
這個人是完全正直，敬畏上帝，遠離惡事。
He was blameless, upright, he feared God, and he shunned evil.
4是人嘅數目，
4 is the number of man.
所以咱有東南西北4個方向，
We have 4 directions, east, west, north, south.
咱有春夏秋冬4個季節。
We have 4 seasons, spring, summer, autumn, winter.
Number 4是 represent 人嘅數目，
And 4 is man's number.
所以聖經用完全正直、敬畏上帝、遠離惡事嚟 describe 這個約這個人。
And these 4 descriptions of Job was blameless, upright, feared God, and he shunned evil.
可能就係約伯是對照這個完完全全嘅人。
Which tells us that Job was really a blameless man.
你講第1章第8節，
Let's look at verse 8.
耶和華問撒旦講：你要用心察看我嘅僕人約伯有無？對照各無人親像伊，完全正直，敬畏上帝，遠離惡事。
Then the Lord said to Satan, Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless, upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil.
你個看第2章第3節，
Chapter 2, verse 3.
耶和華問撒旦講：你要用心察看我嘅僕人約伯有無？對照各無人親像伊，完全正直，敬畏上帝，遠離惡事。
Then the Lord said to Satan, Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless, upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil.
這兩擺都是上帝本身家己吹講嘅話。
Both times, the Word himself said so.
所以約伯實實在在是個完全正直、敬畏上帝、遠離惡事嘅人。
So Job was truly blameless, upright, fears God, and shuns evil.
呢啲人及上帝頭前都是完全嘅人。
In the eyes of God and man, Job was blameless.
好啦，第二，
Second,
咱嚟講約伯這個家庭，
let's look at Job's family.
第二到第四節，
Verses 2 to 4.
伊講伊生了7個囝，35囝，伊嘅家系有7,000嘅油，3,000駱駝，500對牛，500母驢，並真濟僕人。這個人嘅東方是第多嘅。
He had 7 sons and 3 daughters. He owned 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, and 500 donkeys, and had a large number of servants. He was the greatest man among all the people of the East.
伊嘅囝按照日子，佇家來擺設筵席，就找法人請伊家來曬紙餅來，甲伊三角食啉。
His sons used to hold feasts in their homes on their birthdays, and they would invite their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them.
這代表什麼呢？
What does this represent?
非常快樂、非常和睦嘅家庭。
This was a very happy and harmonious family.
喺物質裏面真真豐富，
In terms of wealth, they were rich.
喺關係裏面非常嘅好。
In terms of relationships, they had good relationships.
約伯有7個男嘅，4個女嘅，
Job had 7 sons, 3 daughters.
合起來是10個。
Combined is 10.
10是完全嘅意思。
10 represents a perfect number.
有7,000，
He had 7,000 sheep,
駱駝3,000，
3,000 camels,
合起來是1萬。
which combines is 10,000.
10萬是10嘅倍數。
10,000 is a multiple of 10.
500對哦，一 pair，500對嘅牛是1,000，
500 pairs of oxen is 1,000.
500對母驢，
500 female donkeys,
如果加上500對公驢咧，也是1,000。
and adding the 500 male donkeys is also 1,000.
可能知影約伯呢個家是完全嘅。
This represents that everything Job had was perfect.
首先講，這個人是東方第大，
So they said that he was the greatest in the East.
意思講伊東方第有錢嘅人
He
啦。
says he was the wealthiest person in the East.
唔那是安尼，
Not only that,
伊7個囝按照日子伫家來擺設筵席，
not only that, he had 7 sons who would also often hold banquets in their homes.
可能是生日，
Maybe it's a birthday,
可能是結婚紀念，
maybe it's an anniversary,
可能是什麼好日子，
maybe it's a holiday.
兄弟請曬紙餅交出來撒甲食，
The brothers would invite their sisters to their homes.
這個就彼此相聽。
This is called loving one another.
我跟你講我啦，有錢嘅家族啊，
Let me tell you about wealthy families.
兄弟姊妹啦，彼此相聽是真困難。
If wealthy families, brothers and sisters would love each other, this is quite difficult.
You know why？
Why?
為咗家嘅，
Because of family estates.
因為生氣，
Because they'll be angry.
一生無來往。
They would not meet with each other.
但係約伯這個家庭唔是安尼，
But Job's family was not like this.
一個快樂和睦嘅家庭。
It was a happy and harmonious home.
第三，
The third,
你講約伯嘅敬虔，
let's look at Job's piety.
依照第5節，
Verse 5.
伊講現實日子過了，約伯邪法嘅人叫伊自結，伊清早起來按照正人嘅數目獻還贖罪，因為伊講家鄉我家犯了罪，心中離開了上帝。約伯常常安尼行。
When the period of feasting had run its course, Job would make arrangements for them to be purified. Early in the morning, he would sacrifice a burnt offering for each of them, thinking, "Perhaps my children have sinned and cursed God in their hearts." This was Job's regular custom.
嗱，這唔是講約伯嘅囡仔實在犯罪啊，
This does not mean that Job's children sinned
離開了上帝。
or abandoned God,
小人就有約伯全家都是非常敬虔敬畏上帝嘅人，
but this just shows us that Job's family was God-fearing.
雖然有食有啉，
Yes, there was feasting,
但是伊無犯罪。
but they did not sin.
但是伊驚人萬一人無須地犯了罪呢，
But Job was afraid that they could have accidentally sinned.
所以也繼續獻贖罪。
So he continues to offer burnt offerings.
先講約伯常常安尼行，
It says that this was his regular custom.
這是約伯嘅為人、約伯嘅家庭、約伯嘅敬虔，
That was Job's conduct, his family, and his piety.
所以都是咱大家人所欣賞嘅人。
Everything that we admire.
但忽然間有一日，
But one day,
禍從天降，怎麼辦？
calamity came from heaven.
第兩代志，
The second,
咱就出想這個義人約伯受苦。
we will talk about the suffering of the righteous Job.
第1章6、9、19節，第2章1、9、7節。
chapters 1, verses 6 to 19, chapter 2, 1 to 7.
嗱，這兩段經文是約伯兩擺嘅受苦。
Now, these two passages describe the two sufferings of Job.
頭一擺第一章6-9節是上帝及撒旦喺天頂頭一擺嘅講話，
The first one is the first dialogue between God and Satan in heaven.
因為一擺嘅講話多嚟約伯頭一擺嘅受苦。
Their conversation brought upon the first suffering of Job.
約伯嘅受苦係將佢分做四方面。
And his suffering can be divided into 4 parts.
第一，
The first,
有400人衝來將鼓將驢掠去，割害了約伯嘅僕人。
Sabaeans attacked and took the oxen and donkeys and killed Job's servants.
第二擺，天頂忽然間降下落來，將所有嘅油及僕人囊中燒死。
The second, fire came down from the heavens and burnt up all the sheep and the servants.
第三擺，
The third,
加勒底人衝入來，將所有駱駝掠去，壓害了約伯及約伯嘅僕人。
the Chaldeans swept down on the camels, took them away, and also killed the servants.
最後一擺，
The last,
有狂風車來，將房屋車到約伯7個人嘅細路嘅攏死了。
a mighty wind blew down the house, and Job's 7 sons and 3 daughters died.
這個時陣，
At this time,
約伯囊中嘅家業、囊中嘅物質，連伊嘅家囊中死了了。
Job has lost everything, all his wealth, all his family.
呢就約伯頭一擺嘅受苦。
That was his first suffering.
好啦，第二章1到第7節，
And the second, from chapter 2, 1 to 7,
這就上帝及撒旦喺天頂第二擺嘅講話。
this was a second dialogue between God and Satan in heaven.
一擺嘅講話嚟多嚟約伯第二擺嘅受苦，
This brought upon the second suffering of Job.
但係一擺嘅受苦只是約伯家己一個人。
But this was only the suffering upon Job himself.
先講約伯對骹到頭囊中是毒瘡，
It says that from the sole of his foot to the top of his head, his entire body was filled with sores.
所以約伯嘅健康囊中失去。
So Job also lost his health.
好啦，呢陣咱都去聖經文裏邊嚟思想，這兩擺係可能嘅攻擊。
Now let's return to the scriptures and reflect on these two sufferings.
咱嚟看約伯即係面對這兩擺嘅攻擊。
How did Job encounter these two sufferings?
其實約伯嘅受苦是因為撒旦懷疑神及人中間關係嘅真實。
Indeed, we can say that Job suffered because Satan doubted the authenticity of the relationship between God and man.
你睇第一節第8節，
Let's look at verse 8.
上帝問撒旦講：你不用心察覺嗰個僕人約伯有無？你講對照我，無人親像伊咯，完全正直敬畏上帝，遠離惡事。
Then the Lord said to Satan, Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless, upright, he fears God, and he shuns evil.
約伯無講撒旦無講約伯嘅敬畏是假嘅，
Satan didn't say that Job's fear of God was fake,
但係撒旦講約伯敬畏上帝是有原因嘅。
but Satan is claiming that Job feared God for a reason.
什麼原因？
What
你
reason?
睇第9-11節。
Let's look at verse 9 to 11.
撒旦回答耶和華講：約伯敬畏上帝，咁是無原因嗎？你咁唔是喺你嘅四面為籬笆，為何以及你嘅家庭，並一切所有嘅嗎？
Does Job fear God for nothing? Satan replied, Have you not put a hedge around him and his household and everything he has?
以手所創一切攏蒙你祝福，你嘅家係你對照增加，我嘅你春秋為一切所有嘅，你哋個當面幫殺你。
You have blessed the work of his hands, so that his flocks and herds are spread throughout the land. But now, stretch out your hand and strike everything he has, and he will surely curse you to your face.
撒旦嘅論點是什麼？
What was Satan's argument?
約伯聽你，
Job loves you.
約伯敬畏你，
Job fears you,
因為你所求嘅。
because you have blessed him.
你若將好約伯面嘅囊中奪走，
If you were to take everything away,
約伯當面不顧咗你。
he will curse you.
你睇撒旦講什麼噃？
What is Satan saying?
撒旦講一番叫做對家嘅關係。
He's saying that they had a transactional relationship.
你講約伯及上帝嘅關係出於加特，
He's claiming that their relationship is only based on benefits.
你對佢好，
If you treat him well,
佢對你好；
he will treat you well.
你若對佢無好，
If you treat him poorly,
佢的確當面拒絕了你。
he will curse you.
其實撒旦喺講什麼？你知冇？
What is Satan trying to say?
撒旦喺及上帝講：
Satan is telling God,
若無好處，無人實在敬拜你，無人實在敬畏你。
If they gain nothing, no one will truly worship and fear you.
教會，
Church,
咱小看咪，咱小看咪。
let's think about this.
撒旦講嘅話有影是無影？
Is this true?
有理由無？
Is there a reason in this?
約伯喺上帝手內得到了什麼？
Let's consider if what Satan says makes sense.
你就係約伯喺上帝手內得到真盡物件，
We all know that Job gained a lot from God.
真豐富嘅物質，
Abundance of blessings,
真扎水嘅兒女，
beautiful children,
真扎身軀真健康，
great health,
受眾人嘅尊敬。
respect from everyone.
我跟你講哦，
Let me tell you,
嗱上帝按你祝福你，
if God blessed you, in
請
this
問
way,
你係敬畏上帝未？
would you also fear and worship God?
都唔免講嘅啊！
Of course.
這是全世界最好嘅生意啊！
This is the best business in the world.
所以咱實在需要好成真咱家教及上帝真實嘅關係。
So we must really reflect on our relationship with God.
現今全世界第一受歡迎嘅講話是講叫做豐盛福音嘅講話。
Nowadays, one of the most popular speakers in the world are pastors who preach prosperity gospel.
你信耶穌，上帝祝福你；
Believe in God and He will bless you.
你要賺大條錢，
You will earn much money.
你有當話全世界第一貴嘅車，
You will drive the best cars.
你有當駕第一貴嘅厝內，
You will live in the most luxurious houses
因為上帝要祝福你。
because God will bless you.
請問你要信主喎？你要敬畏上帝喎？
Let me ask you, will you believe, worship, and fear God?
新加坡有一個牧師，
There's a pastor in Singapore.
喺大頂講道講咗一句話。
He preached on the pulpit saying,
我話車是第一貴嘅 Benz，
the car I drive is the most expensive Mercedes.
我所騎嘅所在是新加坡第一貴嘅所在，
The house I live in is in the most expensive part of Singapore
因為上帝祝福我。
because God has blessed me.
教會，咱及上帝嘅關係是唔是建立喺價值嘅觀念嘅頂面？
Church, is our relationship with God also based on benefits?
你能問我，
If you would ask me,
你牧師你未相信豐盛嘅福音啊？
Pastor, then you don't believe in the prosperity gospel?
我相信，
I would say that I believe
因為聖經實在是咁樣講。
because the Bible does say so.
但是
However,
完全嘅成就、完全嘅應驗是喺上帝先知先對嘅裏面。
it will only be fulfilled in eternity, in new earth and in the new heaven.
你都去看啟示錄歷一照、歷二照，
Go back and look at Revelations chapter 21 to 22,
先天先對，
where it describes new heaven and new earth,
新耶路撒冷
the new Jerusalem.
是何等嘅榮耀嘅所在，
It is a glorious place.
唔見嘅歸路，
Streets of gold,
碧玉嘅石，
walls of jasper,
電柱嘅門，
gates made out of pearls.
這個世界幾乎別嘅所在，比這個所在更加豐盛。
Is there another place as glorious as this?
咱現在嘅世界有安尼款嘅豐盛無？
Do we experience this type of prosperity on earth right now?
有，
Yes.
但是裏面的確參了苦難嘅裏面，
But it also includes suffering.
請你記得，
Please remember,
咱信耶穌嘅人啊，
we who believe in God,
咱接受上帝福音。
when we receive the gospel,
咱親像接受到上帝一個叫做 package，一個圖章啊，
it's like receiving a package from God.
裏面有上帝的祝福，
And the package is God's blessing,
也是有苦難。
also suffering.
咱無做得只接受一個，無必接受另外一個。
We cannot only accept one and not the other.
你需要將上帝的祝福及上帝的苦難同時接受。
You must accept both the blessings and the suffering.
所以耶穌講 ，Take up your cross and follow me。
The Lord Jesus said, take up your cross and follow me.
十字架就是受苦的路。
The cross is suffering.
現在相信叫做豐盛福音的人，
Now, this is the one that believes in the gospel.
以只接受上帝的祝福，
He believes in the prosperity and the blessings,
而未接受上帝福音的苦難。
but he would not accept the suffering.
請你記得，這唔是聖經裏面的福音。
Please remember, this is not the gospel.
好啦，你嚟講咪，安尼約伯失去了什麼？
Now, let's look at what Job lost.
伊失去了伊的產業，
He has lost his property,
伊的家裏，
his children,
伊的健康，
his health,
伊的喜樂，
his joy,
伊互人的尊重。
the respect of men.
你嗱，但是你好讀聖經，
But if you read the Bible carefully,
你可以印象代志，
you will realize
唔那是約伯失去這款嘅物件。
that Job was not the only one who lost these
喺
things,
聖經裏面，軍隊耶穌因軍隊上帝的人，
but all those who followed the Lord in the Bible,
無論是舊約還是新約，
whether it's an Old or New Testament,
真侪人因為君底主都失去真侪物件，
The people who followed the Lord has lost many things.
這是十字架嘅路。
This is the way of the cross.
因為時間嘅關係，
Because of time constraints,
我只用一個人做解釋，
I will only use one person's
這
example.
人叫做雅各。
This person is Jacob.
雅各是另外一個 Job， 另外一個約伯。
Jacob is kind of like Job.
等於對雅各話名叫以色列以後，
When he changed his name from Jacob to Israel,
以失去也做物件。
he has lost many things.
頭先
First,
以失去伊一半嘅家，
he lost one half of his property.
因為要去及伊矮呀以掃殺都嘅時陣，
Because when he met his older brother Esau,
伊將一半嘅家、一半嘅股要浪中生活矮呀，
he gave half of all his livestock to Esau.
所以變咗以色列誰減一半嘅家，
So half of his properties was diminished.
伊失去伊嘅家裡，
He lost his children.
伊只有一個查某囝叫做底拿，
He has one daughter named Dinah.
結果互人強暴去。
Dinah was raped.
伊時代家叫做 Ruben， 及家己伊家己本身嘅妾伊嘅concubine犯奸淫，
His eldest son, Reuben, committed adultery with his concubine.
伊第一天嘅囝 Joseph 17歲，互人賣去egypt做奴隸。
His favorite son, Joseph, at age 17, was sold into slavery.
但是雅各拿著已經死咯，
However, Job thought he was dead,
雅各失去伊嘅健康。
and Job lost his health.
喺這個被擄伊拉及上帝 wrestling 嘅時陣，
He wrestled with God at Penuel,
結果伊跛卡去。
and he became lame for the rest of his life.
所以你看咪，
So let's look.
失去家室、失去家裡、失去健康，
He has lost his property, children, and his health.
這是另外一個 Job。
This is another type of Job.
教會我唔問你看到講真真清楚嘅代志，
Church, do you see this very clear thing?
這條路叫做十字架嘅路，
This is called the path of the cross.
可能的確有。
There is suffering.
問題是，
The question is,
當可能臨到咱嘅先兆嘅時陣，
when suffering comes to us,
咱就去面對。
how shall we respond?
嗱，第二章1到第7節
From chapters 2, verses 1 to 7,
是約伯第二擺面對攻擊。
it describes a second attack on Job.
第二章第3節，
Verse 3,
耶和華問撒旦講：你要用心察看我嘅僕人約伯有無？對照國無人親像伊完全正直敬畏上帝완利惡事。你看咪？你雖然激動我攻擊伊，無辜嘅毀滅伊，仍然持守伊嘅純正。
Then the Lord said to Satan, have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless, upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil. And he still maintains his integrity, though you incited me against him to ruin him without any reason.
關係上帝唔是唔知啊，撒旦嘅計謀啊！
It turns out the Lord does know Satan's intentions.
你講你雖然激動我無辜嘅去攻擊伊，
He says, even if you incited me against him to ruin him without any
你
reason,
講伊仍然持守伊嘅純正，你講咪？
look, he has kept his integrity.
所以上帝對伊嘅僕人約伯有信心，
So the Lord had faith with Job.
伊相信約伯有能繼續持守伊嘅純正嘅上帝嘅頭前 integrity。
He believed that Job would maintain his integrity in spite of his all.
你講撒旦怎麼回答噃？
Let's see how Satan responded.
撒旦嚟厲害。第二章4到第5節，
Verses 4 to 5.
撒旦回答耶和華講：人以皮代皮，情願崩殺一切所有嘅，保存家己嘅生命。你伸手傷害伊嘅骨頭及伊嘅脈，伊得個當面拒絕了你。
Skin for skin, Satan replied. A man will give all he has for his own life. But now stretch out your hand and strike his flesh and bones, and he will surely curse you to your face.
撒旦講什麼？
What is Satan saying?
撒旦嘅論點是人你愛嘅是家己，
Satan's argument is men love themselves the most.
人愛保存家己嘅生命，寧願崩殺一切物件。
Men, for the sake of self-preservation, would do everything.
你若伸手攻擊伊，
If you stretch your hand and strike him,
伊得個當面拒絕了你。
he will curse you.
你知我撒旦實在真了解人，
Satan understands man.
人實在真自私，
Everyone is selfish.
人對於家己就最世界中心，
Everyone thinks he is the center of his world.
我最重要。
I am the most important person.
感謝上帝，
But thank God,
上帝更加相信，
God believes
一款有上帝生命嘅人，
those who has God in him
而面對攻擊有另外一個嘅反應。
will respond differently.
所以上帝將約伯交喺撒旦嘅手嘅中間。
Therefore, God handed Job over to Satan.
你睇第2章第7節，
Verse 7.
於是撒旦對耶和華頭前提起，擊拍約伯，後以對卡高頭各是毒針。
So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord and afflicted Job with painful sores, from the soles of his feet to the crown of his head.
好啦，後尾，
The last.
咱嚟看下這個義人約伯將面對這個苦難。
How did this righteous Job face his suffering?
第1章29、22，第2章8到第10節。
This can be found in chapters 1, 20 to 22, chapter 2, 8 to 10.
但是你嗱將繪本約伯記嚟研究，
But if you were to read the entire book of Job,
你發現約伯用咗4方法嚟面對苦難。
you will see that Job responded to suffering in 3 ways.
第一，
The first,
以接受，
by accepting it.
就是第1章20節到22節，第2章8到第10
You
節。
can find it in chapter 1 and chapter 2.
第二辦法，你求死啊，
The second is by asking to die.
就是第3章。
Can be found in chapter 3.
第3辦法，
And the third,
你去抗議。
by protesting.
第6章、第7章、12到14章、16到17章、19章、21章、23到24章、26到31章，當中有19章嘅聖經。
And we can find this instance in all these 19 chapters.
19章聖經講這代志，約伯抗議嚟啦，抗議。
We can see in 19 chapters that Job was protesting.
所以可見約伯用4辦法嚟面對苦難：
So Job had 3 ways to respond to suffering.
接受、求死、抗議。
By accepting it, by asking to die, by protesting.
嗱，想頭前代志，
Let's look at the first one.
接受。
By accepting.
你講第1章20到21節。
Let's look at verse 20 to 21.
這是頭一擺面對這個攻擊以後，約伯就起來，撕裂華袍，剃了頭，拍地對照下拜講：我赤身出殿舞台，也得赤身歸回。少數嘅是耶和華，少錯也是耶和華，耶和華名亦應該得到稱頌。
This is Job's response to the first suffering. At this, Job got up and tore his robe and shaved his head. Then he fell to the ground in worship and said, Naked I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will depart. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. May the name of the Lord be praised.
可見約伯是完全接受一擺嘅苦難，
Job fully accepted the suffering
因
from
為伊
God.
講少數是上帝挑起嘅，也是上帝，上帝名應該得到稱讚。
Because he said, The Lord gave and taken away. May his name be praised.
第22節。
In verse 22,
這是作者對約伯頭一擺面對苦難嘅評論。
this is the commentary of the author about Job.
這一切大隻頂面，約伯並無犯罪，也無以上帝榮光。
He said this, In all of this, Job did not sin by charging God with wrongdoing.
好啦，第2章第9到第10節，
Chapters 2, 9 to 10.
這是約伯面對第二擺攻擊嘅 response。
This is the response of Job after the second attack.
伊嘅車主甲伊講：你仍然持守你嘅純正吧，你棄咗上帝死了吧。
His wife said to him, Are you still maintaining your integrity? Curse God and die.
你話約伯之後回答伊，約伯對伊講：你講話親像有王嘅勸人相款。唉，難道咱對上帝超脫到福氣，沒受到災難嗎？
Job responded, You are talking like a foolish woman. Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?
這是約伯第二擺嘅 response。
This is Job's response to the second suffering.
伊仍然接受上帝安排，
He again accepted God's arrangement,
雖然伊嘅太太甲伊講：
even if his wife told him,
你棄掉上帝死了吧。
Curse God and die.
但是講什麼呢？
And what did he say?
伊講你陽光啊！
He said, You are foolish.
咱對上帝超脫得到福氣，減無得到災難嗎？
Should we not accept good and evil both from God?
第2章第10節。
Chapter
龍
2,
尾
verse
一句
10.
話 ，the last sentence，這是作者對約伯第二擺嘅評論。在這樣嘅頂面，約伯無用吹嚟犯罪。
And in chapters 2:10, the author commented on Job was that in all of this, he did not sin in what he said.
你若有 control 你嘅 mouth，你是完全人咯。
If you can control your speech, then you are a blameless man.
所以約伯實實在在一個完全人咯。
Job was blameless.
所以用接受嚟面對苦難。
So by using acceptance in facing suffering.
但係第二辦法
But the second method,
叫死，
asking to die.
這是第三招。
This is in chapter 3.
咱就睇上頭三節就好。
Let's look at the first 3 verses.
講對打又約伯愧罪照做家己嘅善列，講我慣我試過喺一日，及多善南大喺一暗朗滅沒。
After this, Job opened his mouth and cursed the day of his birth. He said, "May the day of my birth perish, and the night that said, a boy is conceived."
嗱，只得提到兩個日子，你知冇？
2 days are mentioned here.
四個日子及懷胎南胎即個暗暝，
The first one is the night of conception. The second one is the day of birth.
用科學嘅角度嚟解釋，
Using science,
即個 conception 呢就是男嘅精子及女嘅卵子結合喺一暗，
conception is when the sperm meets the egg and the egg is fertilized.
就是 that night，
This
喺暗。
is that night.
另外 the day of my birth 就是呢日40個禮拜以後出世喺一日，
And the second day is on the day of birth when the baby comes out from the womb.
所以約伯講我死了較好，冇出世較好，死了較好啦。
Job said, "It's better to die than to be alive."
但係你記住樣大字嗬，
But please remember,
這是約伯及呢個三朋友經過7日7暗以後嘅大字。
this is after going through 7 days and 7 nights with his 3 friends.
呢個朋友7日7暗坐喺別足個頭前三級更可笑冇講話。
For 7 days and 7 nights, Job's 3 friends was with Job, crying with him.
這個時陣約伯阿姨及呢三朋友表達以內心實際嘅感情，
And Job wanted to express his turmoil and suffering.
而愛死啊，
He wanted to die
因為咁嘅戰殺辛苦啊。
because he was exhausted.
你講死了比活更加好啊！
He said, "To be dead is better than to be alive."
就正如和順咱戰痛歌講，哎呀，死了較好咯，死了較好咯。
Just like when we're in pain, we would say things like, "It's better to die."
但係小咪夠腳多嚟呢個三朋友誒責備，
But this brought on rebuke from the 3 friends.
呢隻以後嘅大字我不詳細解釋。
I will explain this in the later messages.
好啦，第三辦法就是抗議。
Third method is by protesting.
第4到31章這20不章嘅聖經是約伯及三朋友嘅辯論。
From chapters 4 to 31, in these 28 chapters, these are the debates between Job and his 3 friends.
約伯三朋友就親像上帝叫做辯護律師，
These 3 friends were like the defense lawyers of God.
要為上帝 defense。
They were defending God.
你講上帝是公義嘅，上帝是公平嘅，上帝是全能嘅，上帝未犯唔到嘅大字。
They said that God is righteous, He is fair, and He is all-powerful. He could not have made a mistake.
所以唔對，的確是人唔對。
So the one at fault is man.
所以約伯你受苦，
So Job, you are suffering
因為你犯了罪，
because you sinned.
你就認罪，你就悔改。
You have to confess your sin.
上帝是慈愛嘅上帝，
And God will be merciful.
伊要赦免你嘅罪，
He will forgive your sins.
伊要重新疏過你。
And He will bless you again.
但係約伯就是冇要承認自己犯了罪，
But Job didn't want to admit his sins.
伊甚至要求上帝一個答案。
Instead, he posed a question to God.
伊問上帝講：我犯了什麼關係罪？
He said, "Lord, what sin did I commit?
為什麼上帝安尼對我？
Why did you treat me this way?"
嗱，但約伯既然天記得講也對我嘅代志。
And as we read Job, we must remember this important thing.
約伯及呢個三朋友完全唔知影約伯記第1章、第2章發生嘅代志。
They did not know what happened in the events in chapters 1 to 2.
這是天頂嘅代志，
These are the events that occurred in
這
heaven.
是屬靈嘅代志，
These are spiritual things.
而完全唔知啊！
They did not know this.
而老是就對照已經發生嘅代志嚟解釋什麼叫做苦難。
They were only trying to explain what they've already seen on earth.
善有善報，惡有惡報。
Good will be rewarded, evil will be punished.
約伯，你及你嘅全家攏受苦難，
Job, you and your family has suffered.
原因今是真正明顯，
Isn't the cause very clear?
叫做報應啊！
This is retribution,
就是你犯了罪啊！
for you have sinned.
但係約伯講冇啊，
But Job said, "No,
我冇犯罪啊！
I did not sin."
所以我上帝抗議，
So he protests to God.
你問上帝為什麼？
He asked God, "Why?"
以後我不真正詳細解釋約伯及伊三朋友面對苦難嘅意思及伊嘅解釋。
Now, I will in the future explain more in detail Job and his 3 friends' view on suffering on the righteous people.
但係呢，我只係講長代志。
But today I will only discuss
當咱面對苦難實在找無出原因嘅時陣，
when we can find no reason for suffering.
咱實實在在有通直接求問上帝。
We can genuinely ask God why.
這唔是對上帝無信心，
This is not the lack of faith.
相關是因為咱明白上帝對上帝有信心。
On the contrary, it is because we know God, and that's why we're surprised with what's
咱
happening.
明白上帝是公義嘅上帝、主嘅上帝，為什麼有這款嘅苦難呢？我未明白啊！
Because we believe that God is fair, righteous, and perfect, so we ask ourselves, why is this happening?
聖經裏面有一個真出名嘅先知，創了3項代志，
A famous prophet in the Bible said the same thing.
呢個叫哈巴谷。
His name is Habakkuk.
你講哈巴谷書第1章3到第4節，
Let's look at Habakkuk 1:3-4.
你就講上帝，上帝啊，為什麼讓我看到罪孽？上帝啊，為什麼讓我看到奸惡無去處理呢？毀滅及強暴喺我頭前，國起了爭端及殺鬥嘅代志。
Why do you make me look at injustice? Why do you tolerate wrongdoing? Destruction and violence are before me. There is strife and conflict abounds.
哎呀，因此律法放上，公理也無顯明，歹人威脅義人，所以公義顯然顛倒。
Therefore, the law is paralyzed, and justice never prevails. The wicked hem in the righteous, so that justice is perverted.
你講公義背倒登路啊！
He says, righteousness is perverted.
你講伊直接問上帝，跟下你，跟下你，跟下你。
Then he asks God, why?
上帝有責備伊無
Did God rebuke him?
？No。
No.
你若看哈巴谷書，上帝無責備伊，上帝慢及這個哈巴谷嚟解釋。
If you read the book of Habakkuk, God did not rebuke him, but instead he slowly explained it to him.
教會咱需要誠實面對咱嘅上帝。
Church, we must understand God.
未明白，唔知啊，就是唔知啊。
If we do not understand, let us admit that we do not.
唔知啊，就是唔知啊。
If we don't know, we don't know.
咱無一個人對苦難有100%嘅答案。
In the face of suffering, none of us have exact answers.
你就嚟求問咱嘅上帝。
But we can bring it to God.
但是老尾一項代志，
But the last thing,
當上帝允准苦難臨到咱嘅身上嘅時陣，
when God brings suffering to us,
請你記得，
please remember,
一切永遠喺上帝掌控嘅中間，
He is still sovereign,
唔是 out of control。
and He controls everything.
上帝永遠掌管一切嘅代志。
He still has absolute control of everything.
當撒旦頭一擺攻擊約伯嘅時陣，
When Satan first attacked Job,
上帝大聲甲佢講咗一句話：
he said,
凡以所有物件攏喺你嘅手中間，只是這個只是真的 ，but 未再親手加害喺你身上。
The Lord said, everything he has is in your power, but on the man himself do not lay a finger.
上帝為撒旦定咗一個界限，
God set the boundaries for Satan.
你未再經超過這個 cross the line。
Do not cross the boundary.
你係出嚟攻擊佢超所有嘅物件，但是未再加喺約伯嘅身上。
You can do everything, but do not harm him.
你個頭一擺attack你記得未？
That's the first attack.
家遐無去，家裡無去，但係約伯咧無代志。
His property was all gone, his family also perished, but he himself was not touched.
原來上帝講 ，Do not lay a finger，自己超或者無足抌到約足。
It is because God told Satan, do not lay a finger on Job.
好啦，第二擺攻擊嘅時陣，
The second suffering.
上帝將約伯交喺撒旦嘅手嘅中間。
When God allowed Satan to attack Job,
這是第2章第6節。
chapters 2:6.
伊喺呢個手嘅中間，只是存留伊嘅性命。
Very well, he is in your hands, but you must spare his life.
上帝嗰陣咪 set 一個 boundary。
God again set the boundaries.
好啦，我將約交喺呢個手嘅裏面，
I have given Job into your hands,
但是伊哋未將好意思。
but do not kill him.
所以你講下，約伯對卡到頭全身骨都是毒瘡，就是無必死。
We see that Job, from the sole of his foot to the top of his head, is filled with painful sores, but yet he is still alive,
Why？因為上帝無必好意思，
because God did not allow it.
这里看到讲真重要的代志，
This is an important thing.
一切代志拢在上帝掌控的中间，
Everything is in God's sovereign control.
所以求主帮助咱。
May God help us.
那一切上帝控制，请问你惊什么？
If calamities come from heaven, what is there still to fear?
唔免惊，
Do not be afraid,
因为 everything is still controlled by God。
because God controls everything.
求主帮助咱，
May God help us.
咱来祈祷。
Let's pray.
特别阮感谢你，互阮开始思想这个新的系列的信息，苦难之谜。这个是阮未明白的代志，但这条约伯记，互阮加减了解苦难临到阮的心中是什么原因。亲像天顶临到苦难，原来是上帝温准撒旦对阮的攻击，但是上帝阮知影，上帝是良善 ，God is good。一切代志拢有你家己更加美好的旨意。这就阮继续思想约伯记的时阵，互阮这着所罗记另外6章的信息，互阮对这个苦难更加有一个了解，搁一个清楚。特别现在阮面对这个 COVID-19 pandemic 的中间，当阮面对苦难的时阵，互阮有个这个正确的态度来去面对逐日所遇到的困难。阮上帝这着一摆阮的系列的信息。来建立阮的信心，互阮对上帝更加有信心，因为阮知影一切永远伫上帝掌握的中间。亲像 our control， 但 God is still in control of everything。现在阮的感谢，现在阮的祈祷，奉告主耶稣基督的圣名 ，Amen and Amen。来这个礼拜，咱来思想第2篇的信息，咱来看苦难的代志，咱来礼拜看3度。